Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a huge pin mail pin haul video to get in the Disney spirit. I put on my Carousel of Progress t-shirt, which I recently got, but it was on sale a couple months ago. Yeah, but it is a little large. This is going to consist of pins that my dad bought for me when he was in Florida, that I asked him to get on my behalf. Some through eBay and some that I bought off Instagram and Facebook users. So let's jump right in because it's going to be a long video. I'm going to include close-ups to get a real full effect of what they look like. So I'll start with the three that I bought most early on, and they are all from eBay. First pin is, I believe, one of my first Hong Kong pins, if not my first Hong Kong pin. Came out in 2008 and it is Minnie Mouse as Mary Poppins on a carousel horse. This is so pretty. It's got like a red shimmery background. I'm really in search of the Mickey as Bert version for this pin. Yeah, so if I mention any pins that I'm in search of, or if you see any pins you'd like to trade for, I'll mention if they are going to be traded for. Then leave me a comment below or just send me a message on any social media sites. But yeah, I am really pleased that I got that pin. The next two pins, again, I got off eBay, and I think these were just open editions that came out last year, and I'm surprised I missed out on them because lately I've been quite hot on just keeping track of the releases. But it is a duo set, and it is Minnie and Mickey again as Mary and Bert. This originally retailed for £13.95. I can't remember how much I purchased it for on eBay, but I just really like that pin, and I'm slowly collecting collecting up my Mary Poppins collection. Now this next pin is really exciting. It's a huge pin, and it's my first soda fountain, Disney soda fountain pin. If you don't know, over in LA, near the El Capitan Theatre, they have the Ghirardelli ice cream store, which is also known as Disney Soda Fountain and the Soda Shop, and they often release pins. I could go on a whole video about that shop and how they release their pins and things like that, but I'll show you a couple today that I actually bought. This being one of them, this being off eBay from an English seller. It's a limited edition of 300, and it's my first marquee pin, which is pretty exciting, and they can be quite a big deal to find. I managed to get the price down on this, I think, when I bought it on eBay. But it is the High School Musical 3 Senior Year Marquee. I didn't originally know this existed, and I didn't originally think I wanted it. I do have a small sort of High School Musical collection, as in I've got two pins. Yeah, High School Musical was a huge part of my childhood and I loved it. So it still contains a piece of my heart, and that is why I got this pin, because I just remember the buzz when this film came out. So those are the three that I bought off eBay. We'll now move on to the ones my dad purchased for me. Now, I asked him if possible to get me one pin because I knew he was going to be there for a couple releases, and I was like, if you could just get me this pin and then another pin, that would be great. I thought he'd roll up at like 12 o'clock and just get a pin or something, possibly, and that'll be that. He got that at like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning for the release, and he waited in the rain because it happened to be raining that day, or that morning, for like 2 hours. He was cold, he was wet, he was like phoning us, he was like saying I'm hungry, and he waited out for me, and I was like, you didn't have to do that, like I just expected you to sort of go in leisurely at whatever time, but somehow he knew, or he asked someone about the release, I guess. So the pin I really wanted, this Shields of Fantasy pin. This is a series they're doing, I think maybe 4 parts, I'm not sure. And this, of course, is the Little Mermaid one, which is Eric's shield. So you can see his little emblem on the front, and then you open up and it's a scene from Kiss the Girl. This is a limited edition of 1,500. For trading, it's probably best to actually send me a photo / message on Instagram, I will leave a link to my Instagram below. It's just Sophie Sternchus, but I'll leave all my info below. That's the best place that is good for trading. You can see all my traders on there. Next pin was another pin that I asked them to get for me. It is part of the Best Friends series, which they've been releasing. This one is of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. They've released 4, 5 now, I'm not sure. They're 2 separate pins, they just split, and yeah. The next pin is the Pete's Dragon D pin. This was $15.95. It's an edition of 500. The next pin, again, was released on the same day the Pete's Dragon and the Ariel Shield was released on, and it was for Nurses Day. Personally, I've never heard of Nurses Day. It's got Chip and Dale, but literally at this point my dad was like, I'm just getting 2 of every pin just to make it worth its time. So I've got, again, one of these up for trade. If you want to trade, leave me a comment. And then the final pin was for Mother's Day, because Mother's Day was around that time in America, or it was coming up soon. And it is Lady, and I think that's Little Scamp. I'm not quite sure. It was a long time since I've watched Lady and the Tramp. I've actually already traded my other one of these, so sadly I don't have one to trade, but it is so pretty and glittery. This is limited edition of 400, the Lady pin, and then the Nurses Day pin is limited edition of 2000 as well. So those are all the ones that my dad picked up for me. I'll now show you the ones that I've purchased either through Instagram or Facebook. Out of all of this that you're going to see, I've only had one. It's not a bad experience, it's just sort of unlucky. One of the Ariel piece of Disney history pins was released at the end of April, and I'd set up a pre-sale with someone who's going to get me one and then send it to our friend in New York, and then obviously she was going to ship it to me. Unfortunately, it's still not arrived. It says through tracking that it's been delivered, but where it's been delivered we don't know, so I'm in the process of sorting that out, which is a pain, but I have to face the possibility that that one is lost. So I thought I'd just do a quick little update on the status of that pin. It still hasn't turned up, however I did contact the seller and they were really understanding and gave me my money back. Just a quick side note, if you're going to be buying or selling through Instagram or Facebook or however, make sure you do it on PayPal and do it as a goods transaction rather than friends or family, because you will be covered by PayPal if you need to get a refund for whatever reason. The first pin I'll show you is limited edition of 300, and it's part of this Disney fortune cookie series. The person who I bought this from sent me the packaging for it as well, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see, there is 8 pins there, which are limited edition of 600, and it's like a blind box and you just pick them out, and there are 4 chasers which are 300 each. And I'm still looking for one of the other chasers, which is Ariel, but the one I got is the Mary Poppins one, and as you can see they just sort of swing out. This one does unfortunately have a little scratch towards the top, which, I mean, it is pretty annoying, but it doesn't bother me too much, and I'm not sure if that was just not, you can see it on the picture and they didn't disclose that information, which is kind of annoying, or it happened through transit. But it's got like the cartoon, not cartoon, but like the actual drawing of Mary Poppins, and it says practically perfect in every way. So that's really cool. It's a chaser pin, like it says on the back, and limited edition of 300. Next pin I got is another soda fountain, soda store pin, and these actually have, I don't know if you'll be able to see, they've got the little ice cream on the back instead of the Mickeys, which is really, really cool. When we go to LA in a couple of years, I really want to visit the store. I probably won't do a pin release because people that do that are like crazy and dedicated. They get up at like 3 AM to go stand in line and wait there till like 10 AM. It's ridiculous. But this pin is limited edition of 300, and it is Jessica Rabbit in a 50s style outfit with a little jukebox behind her. And I just love the 50s, and when I saw this pin, I think this is my second Jessica Rabbit pin, but the other one in my traders, so this is the first one I'm going to keep hold of, and I just love her poodle skirt and just her whole outfit and the jukebox behind. I just love this pin. The next pin was being released at the soda fountain during this time of buying pins. The ones that I bought off, that I'm showing you now through Instagram and Facebook, I got sent to Florida because my dad was there. He was able to sort of take them in. So I'm not going to be doing as much like buying and trading like this within the US anymore, because obviously customs are ridiculous and a lot of people don't really like to ship out of the US. So this pin was being released and I knew I had to get it. I messaged loads and loads of people, and finally I found one for what was a reasonable price for me, and it is limited edition of 400. They released this one, they released a Snow White one, a Cinderella one, and then a Rapunzel one, I think, but of course the Little Mermaid one stood out to me, and it's this gold clam shell, and then you open it up, it's got a little magnetic hinge, and it is the end scene of The Little Mermaid when Ariel and Eric are on the boat after their wedding and they're sailing off. I love that scene. And I really like this pin. So that is added to my little soda fountain soda store collection and is growing my Little Mermaid collection. Finally, the last pins I'm going to show you I bought off a seller on Facebook. It was the Disney Pins website that the sisters from Disney Pins Facebook have set up. If you want information or links, just leave me a comment and I can direct you to that page. I don't tend to look at it too often because again it is mostly US sellers, but like I said, I was able to get these sent whilst my dad was out there, so I bought these pins. So the first lot I'm going to show you is a set of 5 pins. Now I already had one of these pins because I got it off of eBay, so I do have one of these up for trade, and it is the Hidden Mickey series Aristocat pins. There's 5 of them in total. We've got the little kittens on the pink background. You've got the butler and the owner, I can't remember her name off the top of my head right now. You've got the 3 gooses or 3 geese on the red background. You've got Duchess and Tom O'Malley on again a yellow background, and then you've got the cat and the little mouse on a purpley background. So I'm glad I've got the whole collection now, because I think I said in a previous video I wanted to collect them all. So when I saw that they were all up for sale at once, I thought, done deal, I'll just get all of those. And I think my other one's right here, so I don't know if that's going to be in frame for you, but yeah, so I've got the 3 kittens one to trade if you are interested. The next pin I got is really exciting because it is my first jumbo pin. This was going at a pretty good price as well, from the same person who I decided to buy a couple things from him. Again, it's an Aristocats pin. They released one very similar to this, not a jumbo, on the Disney Store UK website. And I didn't realise how huge this was going to be, and I love it. It is this huge jumbo Aristocats family portrait pin towards the end of the film when they take their photo. It's actually like a proper photograph of them. I'll just hold it there to make sure it focuses for a bit. I'll show you in comparison to just a regular sized pin. That is the comparison of sizes. I'll just take it off because this is limited edition of 500, but I don't know if you can see on the back, it's got these 2 little prongs, so it can just sort of stand up. Let's see how I can show you. Oh. So you can have that just stood up on a table somewhere, and that's what, after this video, is what I intend to do, is put this out somewhere. I've got another pin which is on an easel that came with it, so I'm going to stand that up, and it's like for a little photograph out. And I love the way that they do that, because it does make your pins more of an artwork, and you're able to display them more. So from that same seller, he actually threw it in a zap. If you don't know what a zap is, it's when you trade with someone and they throw in like a surprise pin or a surprise gift. This one is, on the back it just says Walt Disney's. Walt Disney's what? I don't know. I'm going to have to look on Pinpicks for that. But it is Duchess and O'Malley, and it says 1970. It's a really cute little pin, a great one to add to my collection, and I'm really appreciative of that zap, and it was the first time that I've ever got a zap, so that was pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed this huge video of pins. I've actually got a little collection growing for my next pin haul, but I think I really need to take a step back from pin buying and pin trading. The next video will be more pin trading based because I was able to do some more trading through different British pin traders. Yeah, so like I said, my links to all my social media are down below, so if you want to contact me about, if you have any questions about pins, or if you want to trade for anything you've seen here that I've mentioned are of a trade, then I'll leave that below. Also, check over on my Instagram because I do show pin mail photos, and I post pictures of my updated traders. Ideally, I only trade with people from the UK. It's just easier that way, and also I don't have to worry about custom charges and things like that and international fees. But I am open, and if you want to follow me there, then you can do. Yeah. So look out for more pin videos. I've still got my whole pin collection, my Disney side to film, so be on the lookout for that. And I'm also planning a Disney pin tag, which I keep mentioning, which I really need to record sometime soon as well. So I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!